described this game as awfully physical, and then he said, my boys are just doing their job. They're putting pressure offensively and defensively, and that was the game plan. And he said, we just got to keep doing this, stick to the game plan, and we should be all right for the rest of the night. Back to you guys. Grand Island coach Jeremiah Slough, he said, I didn't tell the team anything. I just told them start shooting better, that they're 6-31 from the field. So they basically just have to shoot better and start playing better. A lot of these fans behind me have been up since early in the morning to be able to go to ESPN's College Game Day. Now they're out here for the Pac-12 opener. What's on the line this early in the season? Taking command of the Pac-12 South. It's 2017 and racism is still known. For people like Schuyler Central High School Athletic Director Jim Kozik, this means a lot. Kozik recently wrote a column about what it is his students go through during athletic events and on a daily basis. I spoke to Kozik to really understand what it is to be a Schuyler Warrior. Sometimes these teams don't have the experience or the skills because they don't work on stuff in the off season due to the lack of resources. You saying this and the soccer team going to state, how big is it that the soccer team is breaking these barriers this year? Right, and if we talk about the pressure this team is putting on Schuyler, reminds me of last week. They did lose the game. I went up to coach and I was like, listen, I just need some random thoughts on tonight's game. She just looks at me and she's like, really? After this loss? I'm like, I'm sorry, coach, I have to do it. But she does look happier this time, so hopefully I will talk to a happier coach after this game. Obviously, you wrote your column recently. I'm sure there was a lot of motivation to do that, but what actually made you think, okay, I'm going to write this column so people know what it is to be a Schuyler Warrior? And last season you started in high A and made the transition to double A. Now you got to come back here after spring training. What would you credit that to? And so you have the 4 first AAA games under the belt, and now you also have your first off day. What does an off day in the life of Ryan look like?
Well, yesterday was not a normal off day for me yet.
Playing a tight defense, the Shamrocks managed to score twice in a row to make it a 1-point game with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. The crowd was pretty fired up. And coming back from halftime, both teams pretty aggressive on the defense right there. Now, SCOTUS didn't give up. There you go with Cody Mrozik. Dribbles the ball and takes it in for 2. He actually combined for 13 points on the night. Back and forth game in the last quarter. There you go, Dalton Taylor with 11 points tonight. And now I'm joined with tonight's Grand Island Clinic Player of the Game, Austin Allen. Austin, your senior year, and you guys are the tournament champs. So how does this feel?
It feels great. I mean, going back to back like last year.
Coach said without you, the team would probably be in trouble. Do you agree with that, or what does that mean to you that coach thinks that highly of you? Out here at a rainy Arizona stadium, well, Arizona opens up its season against UTSA. One of the keys for Arizona to start the season 1-0 is the offensive line. Last year, Nick Wilson had a big game against UTSA, so it'll be important for the offensive line to open up holes for him tonight. A month into minor league baseball season, outfielder Josh Richmond has been an important piece for the Barons after sitting out last season due to an injury. Here's what he had to say about being back on the field.
It feels great just to be back out here on the field, playing.
Let's pretend I'm the batter for the opponent team.
Okay.
And I'm in a 3-2 count. What is your favorite pitch to throw, and what would you throw at me to strike me out?
Oh, geez, 3-2 count.
Nikki, 2 home runs in one night. You've done this before. Was it any sweeter this time around? You were 2 for 4 tonight. You've been improving on your offense after spending some time in high A. What is your fix with your approach at the plate? As with tradition, the ESPN hosts pick one team to win, and this year chose Arizona, but the Wildcats lost to UCLA 56-30. It's unclear when and if College Game Day will return to Tucson. And Arizona hasn't seen you in action in this jersey yet. What is something you want Arizona fans to know about you off the court?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. I like Iron Man. What is the most embarrassing song on your iPod?
Probably Carly Jepsen.
Carly? Which one?
Whatever her name is.
Hey,
the one call away, or yeah, that one.
Okay. Last night, the team beat the Babers 8-5 after collecting 12 hits on the night. Courtney Hawkins led the offense going 3 for 4, including a 3-run home run early in the game. Now you guys face Oregon this weekend. They started pretty strong, but they're not doing too hot as far as conference goes, but you guys know what they're capable of. What's the mindset coming into the weekend? And you were featured in the Cape Cod Times. The story talked about some baseball accomplishments and other accomplishments. What does that mean to you, getting recognized that way? Leaving everything but wrestling out the door is what has brought success to the Lakeview High School wrestling team this season.
School problems, any other problems we have, we leave downstairs and we just come up with the mind frame that we're going to wrestle and we're going to put in a good day's work and just leave it all up on the mat.
According to head coach Jeff Bargan, this season has been one of the best the school has seen in a long time. Bargan has seen many differences from the season he has coached prior to this one, and the team hopes to continue this process. Bargan said some of the best competitors this team has are sophomores, so it will be exciting to see how much this team grows the next 2 years and moving forward. Despite some injuries along the way, this year the team has finished first in some tournaments that they hadn't placed first in a few years.
Well, it helps having depth. We've got a lot of kids that have stepped in when guys have gotten hurt, and we really haven't missed a beat. As a team, we're having probably the most team success we've had since I've been here as a coach. We're definitely excited for the future. We're focusing on finishing this season out as strong as we can.
More than halfway through the season, the team continues with the same competitive mindset and approach during practice to carry the same momentum while competing. Lakeview is down to the postseason with conference coming up this weekend, districts the following, and state the next. And as the team continues its journey, Coach Bargan has one message.
So we got a lot of good support helping these kids out, and I know they appreciate that as well. So all the fans and parents that support us, keep it up. We love it.
For Columbus News Team, I'm Rose Valenzuela.